Hey guys, welcome to the video. My name's Amanda. I'm a second year vet student, and today I'm bringing you along as I study for my radiology exam and showing you exactly how I prepare for vet school midterms. Hello guys, welcome to Thursday, January, what day is it? Welcome to a new year. It's Thursday and I'm bringing you guys along as I study for one of my midterms that I have coming up. So like I said earlier, I filmed a video on my channel talking about how I studied for certain courses and you guys seem to really like it. So I thought I would bring you guys along and show you how I study for my radiology exam that I have coming up. Today is January 7th and my radiology exam or midterm is on January 12th, which is next Tuesday at 8 a.m. So the very first thing I do when I'm planning out how I'm going to study for a course is I try and figure out a study schedule and what's going to work best with my class schedule. When I'm planning on how I'm going to study for this exam, it's a little bit different because I'm technically still on Christmas break. We don't actually start classes until January 11th, so this week I have completely off, so it's made studying a little bit easier because I don't have class to worry about. Normally when I'm planning out how I'm going to study for a certain course, the first thing I figure out is how many lectures I have to get through before that midterm. For this upcoming midterm, I have 12 lectures that I need to get through before Tuesday. When I study for midterms, I'm the type of person that doesn't like to study for multiple things at one time. However, in vet school, a lot of the times we have 2 midterms a week. So if I have a midterm on Monday, I'll spend the weekend studying for that midterm. And then the midterm that I have later on in the week, I'll spend the rest of that week studying for that midterm. The only time this ever changes is if we have 2 midterms back to back. I normally, as a rule, like to give myself 2 days to study for a midterm minimum. Obviously, this depends on the course and the content and how much material is actually going to be covered on the midterm or exam. But like I said, as a rule, I like to give myself 2 days to study. So if I have a midterm that's back to back, so if I have one on a Monday and a Tuesday, that's really the only time that I'll take the weekend and I'll study for both subjects at the same time. But normally I will try and separate my studying, so I'm only studying for one thing at a time. So like I said, because I only have 12 lectures to go through before the midterm on Tuesday, I think I'm going to split up my studying so that I study for a chunk of time today, which is Thursday, and then I also study for a good chunk of time on Sunday, and that way I'll be able to get through all the content by Sunday night so that I can spend Monday night just reviewing everything before the day of the midterm. So I think that's my plan. The very first thing that I do once I kind of figure out how much time I need to allocate to study for a midterm, I'll go ahead and I'll make a list of all of the lectures that I need to get through so that once I've gone through them, I can check it off or I can highlight it or I can just tell myself that I've been through it once and that I don't need to worry about that one until later on. So let's go ahead and do that on my computer. Okay, I don't know if I actually mentioned this before, but I'm studying for a radiology midterm and the content that we're studying for is all about abdominal radiology. So we're going over normal and abnormal findings in the abdomen. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my list of all of the lectures that I need to get through by Sunday night. Okay, so I couldn't count before, but here's my list of my 13 lectures that I need to go through. So as I go through those lectures, I'll delete them off my list just so I know that I've been through them at least once. My goal for today is to get through at least half of those lectures. Some of them are not very long. They're only like 15 to 20 slides, so I should be able to get through them quickly. Also, I thought I'd mention that because I am on Christmas break, I don't have lectures today. So the only time I ever spend the entire day studying is on the weekend. Through the week, I'll have classes from typically 8:30 to 5:30, so that limits my study time through the week to after classes. So now that I have my study plan, let's talk about how I actually study for these midterms. So I have 3 essentials that I use every single time I study, and that is a study playlist, the Pomodoro method, and something to drink. The study playlist that I've been using currently is the Theory of Everything soundtrack, and then the Pomodoro method. So if you guys aren't aware of what the Pomodoro method is, I have a couple videos that are study with me videos where I use this technique. But basically the Pomodoro method or the Pomodoro technique is where you study for a 25-minute interval, give yourself a 5-minute break, study again for a 25-minute interval, And then I personally like to give myself a 15-minute break after the 25 minutes. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be studying for 25 minutes, taking a break for 5 minutes, studying for 25, and then taking a break for 15. And sometimes my breaks are a little bit longer than 15. Sometimes I'll put on like a Big Bang episode, which is about 20 minutes. Also, I found a really good extension on my laptop that's basically a Pomodoro timer that I've been using recently, and I find that has been really helping. Okay, I'm all set up and I'm ready to start studying for radiology. I'll show you guys my setup real quick. I've got my water, like I said, my iPad where I'll be using GoodNotes to study, and then this is how I have my computer set up. So this is what I'm listening to. It's just like a warm and fuzzy. Wait, what does that say? Oh, so warm and fuzzy. Warm January jazz. And then I'll also show you guys the Pomodoro timer. This is just the Pomodoro timer that I use. You can put tags on it. This just goes through the Pomodoro technique like I had talked about earlier. There's so many out there, so I'll link a couple down below. That way you guys can try out some different ones. So that is my setup. Let's get studying. So I just finished my first 25-minute set and I'm now on my 5-minute break, but I realized I never actually explained to you guys how I'm studying for this radiology midterm. So basically what I'm doing is I'm first just going through all the lecture slides again. So the first time I went over these lecture slides would have been in lecture. And now I'm going over them a second time and really trying to understand the material from my own perspective instead of just listening to a lecturer explain the information to me. The way I've been studying for radiology since first year is basically just going through the lecture slides and really understanding what I'm looking at. And then I go to external sources, or I'll look at cases and actually try and work through the cases by myself. Radiology is obviously a very visual topic, and because most of my lecture slides are case pictures, I'm finding that going through the lecture slides and just reading them is actually really helping me learn. There are some classes where I don't find that just reading my lecture slides really does much for me, but in a lot of cases, that is how I study for my classes, is I just go back through and reread all of my lectures. Each lecture set that we're given also has an assigned textbook chapter reading. These aren't required readings, but if you don't really understand a concept, we can look at the textbook to kind of enhance our learning on those specific topics. So yeah, as of right now, in my first 25-minute study session, I got through 2.5 lectures. My 5-minute break is almost up, so I'm going to lay on my bed probably for another minute and then get back to studying. Okay, I just finished my second 25-minute study session. The day has kind of gotten away from me, if I'm being honest. I was gonna say meeting, but I didn't have a meeting. I just had a video chat call with my vet school friends. But yeah, I'm gonna go take a break and I'm gonna make dinner and probably watch some Netflix or some Big Bang. Who knows? That's my hour study session on Thursday. I'll update you guys if I study again today or if I just push all of my studying to Sunday. I'll let you guys know. Good morning, everybody. It feels like a long time since I last spoke to you. I know it's been like 2 seconds for you watching this video, but it is now Sunday, and the last clip that you saw of me was on Thursday. I realized that I never really explained why I just took 2 random days off, and I studied on Thursday and then on Sunday. So I thought I would just do that quickly before I get into studying for today. One of my goals throughout first semester was to really focus on having a work-life balance. And I wanted to actually give myself a weekend because I found in first year I would spend most of my weekends studying or doing things related to vet school. So in first year, I made it a priority to give myself 2 days off or at least somewhat of a weekend. And I couldn't take the traditional Saturday, Sunday off because of our Monday midterms. We had midterms basically every single Monday for many, many weeks in a row. So because of that, I felt like I couldn't take Saturday and Sunday off. I didn't feel like I was getting a sufficient amount of studying done through the week. So I decided that I would take Friday night and all day Saturday off so that I could spend Sunday studying before my midterm on Monday. Like I said, the main reason why I did this was because I really wanted to focus on having a work-life balance because I felt like in first year I burnt out really easily. And I've said it on my channel before, but you could study 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for things in vet school and still find things to study. And if you get in the mindset where you need to be studying 24/7, you are going to burn out so easily, and vet school is going to become a chore instead of something that you actually really enjoy. So that's why I take Friday night and all day Saturday to do things that are just not related to vet school whatsoever, and I take that time to recharge from the previous week. So that brings me to another thing that I wanted to talk about in this video. I can sit here and I can tell you how to study all day long, but at the end of the day, if you don't take that time for yourself, and if you don't do things that are going to help alleviate your stress in vet school, you are going to burn out, and studying for anything, whether it be a quiz, a midterm, or exam, is just going to seem like a hassle, and it's going to feel impossible. Having a work-life balance this year, I think, has made me more productive, and I just feel like I'm learning content so much better because I'm more focused when I am sitting down to study, and I'm actually wanting to learn the content instead of dreading sitting in front of a computer and learning about things in vet school. So if you can take away anything from this video about how to study in vet school, it's to find out how to have a work-life balance and what that means for you. It could be reading a book or watching an episode of Netflix, but taking time to do things for yourself is only going to help you in the long run, and it's going to prevent you from feeling burnt out with whatever you're studying. I tried to have a really good work-life balance in first semester, and I still felt burnt out by the end of the year. So I can't even imagine how stressed I would feel or what my mental health would be like if I didn't take those couple days every single week for myself to just decompress. So like I said, the biggest tip I have on studying for anything is to take breaks and take time for yourself, and I promise you it will pay off in the long run. So anyway, that's basically a long explanation of why I took Friday and Saturday off, but now it is Sunday morning, it's 9 o'clock, and I am ready to have a productive day. I'm ready to study all of the radiology that I need and then prepare to get back into another semester of vet school. So I've got my iced coffee, I'm gonna set up my Pomodoro timer, put on a study playlist, and get studying. So I'm on one of my 5-minute study breaks, but I thought I would give you guys a little fun fact of how you tell the difference between a feline and a canine x-ray just by looking at their vertebrae. So if you are not told what species the x-ray is of, a good indicator is to look at the vertebrae. So if you look at these vertebrae here, you can see that they're pretty long. This is a good indication that this is an x-ray of a cat. Now, if we look at the x-ray of a dog, you can see that the vertebrae in the dog are a lot more compact and more square-like, whereas the vertebrae in a cat are really elongated and more rectangular. So that's a good indicator of how to tell what species your x-ray is of if you're not told. So there's your little fun fact of the day. I'm gonna get back studying and I'll talk to you guys soon. Hello, update. So I've been studying for about 3 hours and I finished going through all of the lecture slides. I'm going to grab lunch, and then after lunch, I'm gonna go through some of the cases that we've been provided and try and work through all of them myself, just to make sure that I actually understood what I was reading in the lectures. I don't know how it's gonna go. I feel like I understand it when I go through it in the lectures, but sometimes when I work through cases on my own, I feel like I'm just looking at black and white and I can't even find the stomach. So we'll see how it goes. But I think another couple hours of studying and I should be done for the day. So I will update you once I've gone through all of the cases. I got through all of the cases. There was only a couple that I had issues with, but they were more of the difficult cases. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with how they went and how I worked through them from start to finish. I feel like the main concepts I really understand, which, you know, I'm happy with. I am by no means great at radiology. It is one of the courses that feels somewhat like a foreign language to me, but looking at how I go through cases now and how I can interpret radiographs from first year up until now, the change is insane. In first year, I would look at them and not even know what I was looking at, whereas now I can kind of work my way through it. So I'm proud of that, and I'm feeling pretty confident for my midterm on Tuesday. So I'm gonna call it a day for studying for radiology today. Like I said, I'm going to go over all the content on Monday night one more time, just as a last final review before the midterm on Tuesday. This video is gonna be posted on Monday, so I won't get to update you guys on how the midterm goes, but I'm feeling pretty good. Cross your fingers for me, wish me good luck, and and hopefully the next time I talk to you, I'm not scarred from radiology. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you like coming along with me as I studied for an upcoming vet school midterm. If you have any other study tips that I didn't mention in this video, feel free to comment them down below. I'm always looking for new ways to study. So with that, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!